take away my life was hatched.
Worked out by who?
And carried out. And it started with the withdrawal of security officers around me, because when we left Murang'a on Sunday, the few officers that were with me, an inspector of police and another inspector and a corporal, were all called and told. One was transferred to Kathiani, another one was transferred to Likoni, and the other one was recalled to SGB. SGB is a unit of the administration police unit that deals with the security of government buildings. And I was left without any officer. The ones who used to guard these residents, about 4 of them, administration police officers, had been withdrawn a week earlier, 2 weeks earlier when we left Embu. So I did not have anybody. And I now see it clearly. The timing of the withdrawal of those officers was to expose me and create stage for an attack on my person.
Excellency, at what point were they withdrawn? I remember seeing the videos in Murang'a of you attending a musical concert in which you did not get to address.
Yes.
And I remember clearly seeing one of your, or several of your...
They were caught when we were on the way. They received telephone calls and they were told to report back to their commanding officers. And they reported on Monday. And on reporting, my driver, who is an inspector of police, was transferred to Kathiani. Another officer who would ordinarily be with me, the vehicle, or around me, wherever I am, was transferred to Likoni as deputy OCS. And another very close officer whom I had as a member of parliament for many years, as a corporal of the administration police, was recalled back to the SGB.
So this is while you're on the way. But you started this interview by saying that in Limuru, it was a carefully planned effort to eliminate you.
I'll come to that.
I would really want to know, because that's what you started with.
I'll come to that.
Who planned it?
I'll come to that. So, whoever removed security from me to expose me is government, so that I'm exposed. On arrival in Limuru, I had like 8-10 young people as bouncers, private bodyguards without, none of them was armed. And we settled down, and in the VIP tent, on my side was Senator for Kiambu, Karungo Thangwa, and on my right was the immediate former MP for Limuru, Peter Mwathi. Suspiciously, the member of parliament for the area never sat with us. He sat across in another tent, and he was busy on the phone throughout because we were just seated directly opposite him. And everything went on very well until the speeches. When the Honorable Peter Mwathi was speaking, a few characters started shouting at him and created a commotion. And then some heavily built guys who are hooded and others with masks came to the VIP tent and brought down the tent where we were, removed the metal bars that hold the tent. Others had stones, others had sticks, and all charged towards me very viciously, menacingly. And that is when we realized there was trouble. And the guys around me surrounded me and put a human shield around me. And the local people, when they realized a problem, they also joined. So we were one big group. So all the stones that were being thrown towards me were stopped by the people who were with me, and they took me right inside my car. And 3 of my guys put me down inside the car, flat on the car, on the back seat, and came on top of me. So these fellows now came with iron bars. They were looking for me, and they hit one of the fellows on the head. In fact, he's still in the hospital. And others were throwing stones inside the car. and they were shouting in the Kikuyu language that Gonga Kichwa, Ua, and they were very vicious. In the whole of that funeral of a young man called Erastus, a friend of mine, there were over 2,000 people. Not a single police officer in uniform. A crowd of 2,000 people.
Before we go to the police, Your Excellency, let me take you back to a claim you have made on this interview. You have said that that was an attempt.
Yes.
A well-planned out attempt.
Yes.
On your life.
Yes.
To assassinate you.
Yes.
In your own words.
Yes.
You have not given me who planned it. You have made an attempt
to suggest that
the member of parliament of the area elsewhere.
The member of parliament
is that evidence.
The member of parliament of the area. There is a video showing the criminals who attacked us. In another video, the same criminals are escorting him to safety. But you need no rocket science. You need no
evidence. That cannot stand in court.
You need no. We are not in a court of law. I'm just giving you the scenario. I'm giving you the scenario that people who are captured on video attacking the second deputy president, in the same occasion, are seen escorting the member of parliament for the area to safety. You don't need rocket science to know that these criminals and this member of parliament were on the same mission. Number two, why were there no police officers in a crowd of 2,000 people? You know, again, information has come through, and I even read the papers yesterday, and correctly, you are Nation newspaper, that this information was available to the security officers a day before. In fact, these criminals started arriving at 8 a.m. and police were told. In fact, in that meeting, the assistant chief of the area was given a chance to speak. And he knew there is a problem because every speaker who was speaking before we came to the politicians was calling for peace and asking those who have been sent to disrupt the funeral not to do it. The assistant chief was there. Ordinarily, the way it works, because I've been in the security sector for a long time. I started as an administrative officer when I was at the age of 23. The assistant chief of the area was there for 4 hours. He would have given information that things here are not working. But the police did not show up because they were not meant to show up. We have information that the county security committee met the previous day at the Tigoni police station at 2:30 p.m.
Where did they meet? You have
Tigoni police station. And that is where the communication of a request for the police to allow a safe corridor for the criminals to come and attack the deputy president.
Who was in this meeting? Because you're saying
the county security team.
A county security team.
County security
has a county commander.
County security
has
team.
A county police commander.
Is the county the county commissioner, county police commander, county criminal investigation commander, and the intelligence officer.
So you're saying these officers of government were present at the Tigoni police station
on the previous day, and that is where the request to allow the criminal safe passage was made, and that is when, in fact, this family has confirmed they had requested for 4 police officers in uniform. Okay, which is standard practice. When you have a big occasion, you go to the local police station, you ask, and you pay 4 police officers. Those officers were not there in uniform. The people who were there were civilian police officers. And people are talking because people live in a small area. These officers are known. And people saw them there. And when we were being attacked, they did nothing about it. And I can tell you, these criminals specifically targeted me with crude weapons, machetes, pangas, axes, iron bars. If you look at my car, it's outside here, I would like you to look at it, the damage. They were not sparing me. In fact, I want to really thank those 3 young men who covered me, and the people of Limuru for their courage and for their personal sacrifice. They actually put their life on the line for me.
Well, leave it, or we will put a point at that particular point, put a break there, because we need to take a break. However, when we come back, Your Excellency, officers who you say were present, officers who you say were complicit, are officers you know, are officers if you do not mention their names here, would expect you to take legal or to seek legal redress and record a statement to the police and make sure they are held accountable.
How can we record?
Have you done this?
How can we record a statement with the police? The same police were involved in the
Let's take a break, Excellency. Then when we come back, we are going to speak about that, and we'll also get into that because you have made you've tried to allude something about the member of parliament, which so far does not pass because there's not such a connection in terms of evidence. But let's take a break. When we come back with the former deputy president, we shall be getting back into that discussion about Limuru, as well as what else is important in terms of where the country is headed politically.
Shukran sana Ibrahim kwa mahojiano haya. Atakuwa nakujia kwa marefu na mapana kuanzia mwendo wa saa 2 usiku wa leo hadi saa 3. Tuchukue pumziko fupi. Naona jumbe zenu nyingi kabisa kwenye mitandao, nitakuwa nazisoma nikirudi muda si mrefu pamoja na habari za michezo. Usiende mbali.